So I just want to start by saying how grateful we are to be standing here. I'm standing here as director of Black Lives Matter Grassroots and co-founder of Black Lives Matter Los Angeles. I'm standing with my friends and sisters and comrades and co-leads. Audrina Redmond of Black Lives Matter I almost claimed you. Well, Black Lives Matter Long Beach and Black Lives Matter Grassroots Director of Political Education. Also standing with us is Reverend Carlene Griffiths-Sekou of Black Lives Matter Boston. She's the Director of Healing Justice and Global Village for Black Lives Matter Grassroots. And Angela Waters Austin of Black Lives Matter Lansing and Black Lives Matter Michigan, who is our Director of Policy and Operations for Black Lives Matter Grassroots. I want to repeat what Dominique shared, that Black Lives Matter Grassroots is Black Lives Matter, and all of us are grateful to be standing with all of us who make up the movement. We make up the movement. We are the movement. So we're grateful to all of you. Some of you come from right up the street. I'm looking at where was Professor Jody Armour lives. I'm telling on you, but lives right up the street. But we also have people who came from as far away as Jamaica. Carlene came from Jamaica. We have Dr. Yusef Salam and Black Lives Matter Atlanta flying in from Atlanta. We have Brother Stevante Clark, who came all the way from Sacramento. But we have folks who came from all over the country and world to be with us, to stand with us, and to say that Black Lives Matter belongs to the people who birthed and built it. Black Lives Matter belongs to the people who birthed and built it. So we are grateful to be standing among each other. We also want to acknowledge the difficulty of the space that we now find ourselves in. So, we are used to fighting white supremacy. We are used to fighting police brutality. We are used to having to face institutions that represent white supremacist, patriarchal, heteronormative capitalism and chant them down. That is the work we are called into. That is our divinely guided work. What is more difficult is recognizing that sometimes white supremacy, sometimes the existing system uses people who look like us to advance its interests. And so it's much more difficult to have to face challenges from within. But that's what we're doing right now. We're facing challenges from within because we know that is the righteous thing to do, and we operate with integrity. So we are being truth tellers here today. I want to lift up that there are many stories about the birth of Black Lives Matter, and we have the herstory, which we love, about the three co-founders, Alicia Garza, Opal Tometi, and Patrice Cullors, and how they were online after the murder of Trayvon Martin and the acquittal of his murderer. And they hashtagged the words Black Lives Matter. They hashtagged the words Black Lives Matter. And that is a beautiful story. It compelled us and called us into action. We also want to acknowledge that simultaneous to that story is the story of what happened right here in Africatown, right there in that park that's across the street. When mamas of the movement, when people like me and fathers like Billion filled this park before there were blue gates around it, and were called into our sacred duty to build a movement, not a moment. To build a movement, not a moment. Black Lives Matter has always been about boots on the ground. About boots on the ground. So, the movement was born here. It was born in the streets, and of course there was a calling online, but it was the boots on the ground that gave life to Black Lives Matter. We built the movement. Regular workers, elders, young people built this movement. We have invested our blood, sweat, and tears. And the movement has been fueled by the spirits of people like Melly Corrado, by the spirits of people like Rosario Mack and Stephon Clark and all of those names that we called the spilt blood of our people fuels this movement. And so we need to remember that that's what Black Lives Matter is here in Los Angeles, where LAPD has now shot 29 people and killed at least 13 people so far this year, and it's only September, right? That's true here in Los Angeles, and it's true around the world. It's true in Jamaica, where we're building Black Lives Matter Jamaica. It's true in Boston. It's true in Long Beach. It's true in Michigan. It's true in Atlanta. That's the truth of Black Lives Matter, that we are the boots on the ground who build with people in Buffalo to say that they will not massacre our people in grocery stores and not have it answered by our folks. It's true in Akron, Ohio. It's true when we stand for Dante Wright in both North Carolina and Minneapolis. It's true because we are the lifeblood of Black Lives Matter. The boots on the ground is the lifeblood of Black Lives Matter. And the people have supported us. The people have supported us with their dollars. People like my mother, who is a black single mother, retired elementary school teacher, who never shopped for new clothes for herself, but calls the thrift store Nordstrom's and gives dollars to Black Lives Matter. It's true for everybody who forego their, I don't know if that's how you say it, forwent. I don't know how you conjugate that verb, but who decided not to go to Starbucks, who decided to cook beans and rice instead of meat for their family, who said, my dollars are going to be used to get black people free. People have invested their voices. They've trusted what we've said online and amplified it. People have been boots on the ground alongside us, have been in the streets in 2020 and continue to be in the streets in 2022. And so we owe it to those people to tell the truth, to tell a hard truth, that Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation has been taken away from the people who built it. Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation is now led by a highly paid consultant who paid himself upwards of $2 million in a single year. These are the dollars that my mama donated, and has now taken away our social media platforms and is using them to amplify things that are not in line with what we are building. And so we are saying that just like we challenge white supremacy when it comes in forms that we recognize, we have to challenge white supremacy when it comes in forms that sometimes masquerade as people who look like us. And so my Baba who's here, Baba Hank Jones, who's one of the San Francisco 8, who is a veteran of the Black Panther Party and the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, and is also my Baba in the truest sense. We are joined together by love and spirit. Baba always taught me that when something happens, you go to the people. So thank you for that teaching. Thank you for giving us the courage to go to the people. So we are coming to the people and saying, we intend to get our stuff back. We intend to get our stuff back. You don't get to steal our money. You don't get to steal our platforms. And you don't get to steal the name Black Lives Matter, because Black Lives Matter belongs to the people who birthed it, who built it, and to the spirits who fuel it. So we are coming for our stuff. You can give it back or we gonna take it.
Who's host? Who's host? Who's host? Who's host?
And so we say all power to the people.
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 Ashe.
Ashe.